we decided to do a comparison between 3 of the most popular food subscription box services here in London. We've ordered boxes, they all arrived this morning. We're going to unbox them with you. We are comparing like for like as much as we can. So we've ordered a burger from each, we've ordered a curry from each, and a pasta.
How
So
cool this is!
This
is a cardboard box.
It's a cardboard cooler box.
Gousto have done a good job of like using paper.
Gnocchi with spinach.
Yum!
Creamy chicken masala with fluffy rice.
Good.
Burger with wedges and slaw. This is where all the chilled ingredients are put. They're not brioche.
Cheaper. They look cheaper. Sorry. We're now moving to the next phase, which is us basically preparing the meals and eating them and comparing them against each other. Okay.
Hello
Project.
YouTube, 20 followers, 20 subscribers.
Woo. Since
Is it 20 subscribers?
it was 8 the last time we made the last video.
Awesome. Are you making money then?
No, I don't know.
Stay at home dad. Yes.
You're not even a dad.
Stay at home future dad.
Honestly, all of the 3 companies that we tried gave us good experiences, and we're very fortunate to have been able to buy these boxes and sample, great dishes. But we're, gonna get down to
The nitty gritty.
the nitty gritty. Jared and I rated every dish that we cooked and ate based on 5 factors: taste, quality of ingredients, ease of cooking, innovation, and portion. And we rated them independently so that our scores don't get affected by each other. In general, we weren't focusing on which company these meals came from, but on the meals themselves. At the end, I took the average of all of the 5 categories for both me and Jared, and I averaged them out to give us 1 score for a meal. We're gonna talk you through all of the meals that we've tried. If you haven't watched the first unboxing video, I'll link to it above.
Please make sure that you give Lady Reef a big thumbs up, give her a like, subscribe to her channel. Let's get those 20 followers to 20 million so I can be a stay-at-home dad.
Time to get messy. Okay, crazy people. Today I am doing cheesy beef burger with chimichurri mayo the Gousto way.
That was amazing.
Best out of the 3 burgers I found.
Agreed.
The touches that I remember from it was the brioche bun, was the chimichurri mayo. That was really
It's
good.
very simple to make as well.
Super simple. It was just Hellman's mayo mixed with like some fresh chili, some fresh herbs,
Fresh mint.
fresh
Yeah.
mint and parsley.
Yeah, so good. I really liked how Gousto recommended that you pickle the onions a bit before you put them in the burger. So we pickled them in some vinegar, which was really nice. So it just kind of takes the edge off.
Dorothy, why did you have to hurt me like that? I'll never forgive you.
Patty was nice and moist. I think the only negative comment we had about it was the salad was a bit boring.
Like a squeeze of lemon, a bit of olive oil, like a quick drizzle with salt and pepper. That would have made the side salad much more enjoyable. One thing I really liked about the Gousto burger is that the patty is cooked in the oven. So when you melt the cheese on it, the cheese melts really well. And I'm mentioning this specific point because I'm getting back to cheese melting on a burger when we talk about the HelloFresh one.
Look at that.
Definitely burger winner. That for sure.
The next one is Mindful Chef's burger with the fried egg and sweet potato fries.
It was good. Look, it was good. Pretty sure if I was a vegan, I would have loved it a lot more than that. So if I was gluten intolerant, I'm pretty sure I would have liked this naked burger. Reef and I really like a traditional burger.
The burger itself did taste really good. They also did the soaking of the red onions in a vinegar. When I'm having a burger, I want to have a burger. like as it comes.
Reef
Buns,
want
patty.
to wrap, so she wants to wrap her fingers around something and like get her face dirty.
Yeah.
And I'm exactly the same. I quite like the addition of a fried egg in a burger.
On the positive note, it was quite healthy.
The HelloFresh burger had quite a lot to live up to, and it was generally not as good. I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a total letdown. There were elements of it that I enjoyed.
If I was going to have a burger, I probably wouldn't waste a meal and all those burger calories on that burger. I would want to spend that on a burger that is more worth having. The patty was my biggest issue. The patty had no onions, no herbs, no spices, literally just had panko breadcrumbs and ketchup.
I thought it was pretty moist. It was cooked really well.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
So another thing that I didn't really like about the HelloFresh burger was the way that they call for the cheese to be melted. The cheese was was placed over the bun on the stovetop, taken off the heat and then covered in foil. And then the heat from the burger is meant to let the cheese melt. And it melted, but it just wasn't like putting it in an oven where the cheese really kind of gets, melts and starts dripping around the burger. So it didn't really engulf the burger as much as I would have liked it to. The coleslaw was
basic. It was
very basic. It was just mayonnaise.
It was literally.
And the last thing was that there was no sauce.
So both Reef and I had to put our own sauces on the burger. So we were adding like our own ketchup. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. Because we certainly expected them to give us something a little bit special to finish it off with. The next dish is the Gnocchi.
This one got a 3.9 out of 5. I'm actually quite surprised because Jared and I we never make gnocchi at home. And when we go out to an Italian restaurant, we usually order other types of pastas.
We aren't slating gnocchi, but we just found it a bit too heavy for our palate. So we thought we'd give this a go. And we were generally pleasantly surprised.
It was so good. My favorite thing about that dish was how mushroomy it was. HelloFresh gave this wild mushroom sauce paste. Even when you open the packet, you can smell such a strong mushroomy scent. I liken it to using porcini mushrooms in a dish when you soak them and then you use some of the porcini mushroom water in the sauce of a pasta, for example.
To add more of like a strong mushroom flavor.
Yeah, this was very much like that. It was delicious. And then you also wilted a whole bag of baby spinach leaves. And I think that really added a nice body to the sauce. What did you think of the cheese that came out?
I'm not a cheese snob, so I actually liked it. But like Reef was like, no, it was too hard and I don't know.
I wanted the Parmigiano or a Pecorino or something.
It came from the teat of a cow in like the Himalayas.
I wasn't a big fan of the cheese. It was like a hard cheese that came in a little pouch. I would have much rather if we got a small piece of Parmesan and we grated it at home. But all in all, it was an excellent, excellent dish. The next one is Gousto's chili chicken with the Feta and Avo.
And yeah, apparently I cooked it.
Yeah, you did. It was the one where you pulled the chicken apart when you were talking to Craig.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I can't remember it because I was doing something else.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
It was a good dish. It was quite healthy. It's one of the dishes that they've collaborated with Joe Wicks on. The Feta and Avo was really lovely. The chili chicken was really nice as well. The spices were quite spicy, so they give you some lime. The lime adds a lot of freshness to it, which is well needed when you're having something that spicy.
I thought it was right. I didn't have to cook it, right? So you struggled with the courgette.
I struggled so much. Oh.
I thought it could have been a bit richer. It could have been closer to your traditional Bolognese. And again, you'll have a much better idea about what ingredients were involved.
The quality of the ingredients were really good. That was one thing I liked about it. You were using fresh tomatoes and a carrot, but the flavors were missing. It's called lentil Bolognese. You expect some sort of spices in there to make it come across as a bit more of a Bolognese. I like the touch of the toasted the pine nuts. I don't think they called for it to be toasted, but we toasted it ourselves.
Yeah.
The thing I did not like at all about that dish was the courgetti. I thought that the courgettes were going to come already spiralized, and they didn't. They came as whole courgettes, and so I had to spiralize them, and all I had was a straight peeler.
I'm about to spiralize a courgette without a spiralizer, so I don't know. Okay, I'm guessing that shouldn't have happened.
First go, all right.
If you want to spiralize with a peeler, you should generally be using a julienne peeler, which are the ones that kind of go out in like a Y shape. So I don't have a spiralizer at home, and I don't have a julienne peeler, and I don't think that Mindful Chef or any of these companies should bank on their customers having a specific tool in the house. So that just kind of really put me off. It took me a while to cut it. It was not a pleasant experience. The courgette was falling apart in my hand, and I did manage to get some courgette out of it, but by the time I got there, I was in quite a bad mood. You know how you generally give a bolognese that doesn't have meat in it a bit more of a meaty flavor is to add like something smoked, like some maybe a bit of smoked paprika or some. So it's all in the spices that you use, and there was hardly any in this one.
Not worth the effort, that's for sure.
Excuse the wife today. She's a little bit cranky.
It was probably the best curry we've ever cooked at home.
Definitely the best curry. Also very simple. The ingredients were all fresh. I quite like the creaminess of the dish, and like it had the right balance of heat.
And the great thing about the creaminess in that dish is that the creaminess was actually provided by the cashews. We ground the cashews in a NutriBullet, and we get like a really fine powder. And then we added a tiny bit of water to it, and then we turned it into a paste. And then you add that paste at the very end into the curry, and it really, really makes it so much creamier and a bit sweeter almost because of the cashews.
Yeah.
The dish calls for integrating a knob of butter as well as some oil when you're frying the onions. It makes such a big difference to the richness of the dish. The last thing that I thought could be improved about that dish is the rice that came with the curry was actually a cardamom rice. The cardamom wasn't very flavorful. Maybe you had to grind them a bit before putting them in there. The recipe didn't call for it, but the rice didn't taste like cardamom whatsoever. But other than that, one of the best curries. Definitely will recreate it.
And I would so recommend it to anyone else who is looking to cook a curry at home.
So the next dish was the HelloFresh
Chicken masala.
Yeah, I'm officially not intimidated by the cutting of a butternut squash anymore. I thought that it would be a lot more difficult, but it's actually much easier than I expected. And HelloFresh gave really, really good instructions on how to cut it the way that they had intended to. Roast them, pop them in the oven as little bite-sized pieces, and then you pop them into the curry at the very end. Gave a really, really nice texture. There wasn't a lot of chicken in the dish, but the butternut squash definitely compensated for it. All in all, a really, really good chicken masala.
The portion was one of the bigger portions in comparison to some of the other dishes that we tried.
We could have even had some leftovers if you didn't finish it.
But that's my job.
The next one was the Mindful Chef's Caribbean curry.
It was really good.
You liked it, didn't you?
I really enjoyed it.
The flavors were incredibly, like they suited each other so well. So you get a bit of sweetness from the mango, and then there's creamed coconut, which makes it very nice and creamy, mixed with kind of like ginger and garlic as a base. It was very, very beautiful flavors. One thing I liked about, specifically about this Caribbean curry, is the way that they integrated the mango into the curry. You'd take half the mango and you would mash it and integrate it into the dish midway through cooking it for the flavors to mix well with all the other ingredients. And then towards the very end, you add the remainder of the mango.
Getting these subscription food boxes really forces you out of your comfort zone.
I've really enjoyed the experience with all of these, and I love the newness of it. And as always, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a beautiful rest of the day wherever you are. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And see you next time.
This needs to go through your shirt. But we can't have the cable show. How unprofessional is that? Here we go. Like. There we go. Listen, we have to be as professional as we can here, okay?
So we are doing a recap.
Did you close the window? Please, it's gonna take me ages. I'm
Drink
tethered.
and go.
I'm tethered.
So annoying.